All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start out by giving all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who well. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect, the Bayath, Dawadah, the house of David. So as you know, hey, prophecy, okay? And you must be occupied in it. So as you can see, if your eyes, if you can see through, right, if you can see what's going on here, you have the eyesolve to see. You'll see what they're talking about here on this Fox News and in this article right here. Okay? It says CFTC chief says pending crypto bill will make us the gold standard for digital asset regulation. All right? Okay? It says Michael Selig, right? Or Selig projects legislation could reach Trump's desk in the next couple of months, right? So let's read some of this article and then we'll go back and we'll play the video. It says CFTC Chairman Michael Selig said the market structure bill moving through Congress would make the United States the gold standard for crypto regulation. It says arguing that clear rules are long overdue for digital asset markets. It says Selig said the U.S. had lacked clear digital asset oversight, and the new legislation would provide token taxonomy, right? Taxonomy. It says, and define jurisdiction to move markets forward, right? It says the goal of the legislation is just to get some clarity. It's been too long, but these markets just languishing, and they fled overseas. It says overshore. It says Selig, right? It said Wednesday on mornings with Maria. It says our country's best builders, entrepreneurs, and innovators are really for the first time looking at the system where we can have clear rules of the road and token taxonomy, right? It says so we know what's the security of what's now. Okay. It says he said treating all digital assets as securities is outdated approach and argued that many digital assets should be treated as commodities, right? It says under the CFTC oversight rather than the securities subject to the SEC jurisdiction. It says rules for the prediction markets would be addressed through agency rulemaking rather than the congressional legislation currently under the consideration. It says Selig, right? It said the CFTC had been regulating these markets for more than 20 years and that he aimed to embrace innovation in these spaces going forward. All right. So it says we are not going to merit regulator as the prior administration sought to do and ban those types of contacts ahead of political election. It says we're going to embrace it, Selig said, and we're going to set rules of the road, and we are also going to defend our authority in court where necessary. It says Selig projected that the crypto market structure bill could be on President Donald Trump's desk in the next couple of months and praised the president's leadership and advocacy on behalf of the cryptocurrency industry. All right, so let's go up here and play some of this video, right? And we're just gonna end it off because you should, if you understand what he's speaking about in this video and why the sudden push and the quick push by Nero 47, right, which is all coming from the tiny tops, right, with the CBDC central bank digital currencies, right, which is all a part of the RFID microchip. It's all a part of the beast system, right, and why they're pushing so hard and so quickly forward, You see, and all these things that are coming. You see? So I'm gonna play some of this, right? And I'm gonna let you brothers listen in.
Welcome back. The Securities and Exchange Commission partnering with the Commodities Futures Trading Commission on Project Crypto in an effort to align federal oversight of digital assets. White House officials meeting with crypto industry executives and bank associations yesterday to help break the impasse holding up the Clarity Act. Participants also calling the talks constructive, but crypto representatives said that they felt banks were slow to engage, reportedly. The major stalemate, as we've been talking about, is whether crypto exchanges and crypto companies should be allowed to offer customers rewards, money, on stablecoins held on crypto platforms. Joining me now is the chairman of the CFTC, Michael Selig. Mr. Chairman, great to have you.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. And let's start at the beginning in terms of how you are delineating the difference between a security and a commodity. Because in this market structure bill, you're intending to classify tokens as securities versus commodities so that we have clear jurisdiction. Walk us through it.
That's right. For too long, we've had the Gary Genslers of the world regulating by enforcement, claiming that every digital asset is a security. And Chairman Paul Atkins and I really disagree with that view. We believe that most crypto assets in the markets today are commodities. These are digital assets that maybe were issued as part of a securities transaction, but they trade a lot like oil, gas, and other commodities in our markets. And the information that is prevalent to and important to trading these assets comes from the markets at large. It's not coming from a single source of information, as you see with the capital markets with an issuer. And so we need to build markets that allow for these assets to trade with clear rules of the road, and we can't regulate by enforcement anymore.
What was your takeaway from the meeting at the White House yesterday and this sticking point in terms of banks versus crypto platforms and paying rewards?
Well, I understand that it was a very productive meeting at the White House, and the president's leadership is really critical in getting this legislation across the line.
See, they're really critical at getting this legislation across the line. You see?
He's been a real advocate of the crypto industry.
He's been a real advocate of the crypto industry. I wonder why. You see? According to what that RFID microchip, the radio frequency identification and near field communication, which is the NFC. You see? Which is going to be the way of you getting these credits, these CBDCs, these central bank digital currencies, right? Either delivered to your forehead off of your frequencies, right? Off your emotions, right? To your forehead, delivered to your forehead or into your hand, right? Under a credit score, you see? So all these things are happening, right? Okay?
And I know that we've got a large swath of incumbents that are concerned that some of the legislation could encroach on their lanes. But really, I think this legislation is going to move us all forward as Americans. It's going to create a new standard, the gold standard, if you will, for crypto markets here in the United States. And, you know, these issues are ones to be worked out amongst the Congress and the president's office. But I think we're going to get it across the line.
So when would you expect the timing? Is that a February, March situation, getting it over the line?
We're hoping for that. So thanks to Chairman Bozeman's leadership in the Agriculture Committee on the Senate.
Look at that. February, March. See that? Okay. March is about around March and anywhere into April, all right, is getting into springtime. You see? Just little things. You just got to, listen.
We have a bill that's moving through. We have a bill that passed the Clarity Act in the House. And so we just need to get this done in banking. And I think Senator Tim Scott's going to get this thing across the line with the president's help.
And of course, the initiative also outshined the passage of the Senate Agriculture Committee's Digital Commodity Intermediaries Act. Talk to us about that.
Well, there's a number of pieces of legislation here, and really the goal is just to get some clarity. It's been too long with these markets just languishing, and they've fled offshore. Our country's best builders, entrepreneurs, and innovators are really, for the first time, looking at a system where we can have clarity, clear rules of the road, a token taxonomy, so we know what's a security and what's not. And that's going to move these markets forward. That's going to create a new paradigm here in the U.S., and we're really excited to welcome the builders back to you.
Right, move these markets forward, right? Because henceforth, they'll be dealing with what? CBD, central bank digital currencies, is going to be the new cashless society. Okay? It's going to be the new way and a new form of money. All right? Or what you call just credits, huh? All right? You see? This is what this is coming down to. You see? This is the smart technocratical babble world that you're going into, the authoritarian government that you're going into. All right? So we're just going to play a little bit more of this and we're just going to close.
United States.
Well, it's really interesting to me that you've taken on also these prediction markets. I mean, when you look at these prediction markets, it's incredible how much activity is there at Polymarket and Kalshi and others trying to get into that game. What's most important for us to understand about these prediction markets, and how do you see your role?
Well, these markets aren't new. We've been regulating them for over 20 years. We've seen, since the early days of our markets, a broad swath of new types of commodities over the years. And that's the great thing about the CFTC, that we are a regulator that's always been focused on innovation in our markets, new types of commodities, new products, new platforms. And prediction markets are no different. We support lawful innovation in these markets, and we're going to create clear rules of the road for them.
New prediction markets, as you can understand, what do you call data centers and things off of people's frequencies, right? That's why they have these data centers. Henceforth, right, was going to show what these are all things that go into a blockchain. You see, central bank digital currencies, any purchase or any type of things of that nature goes into what you consider a blockchain and is stored there. Just like your medical records, your criminal history, your birth certificate, everything. All these things are in what you call the system of the beast. All right, which is a grid system, right, or a digital system in a digital world. Okay, henceforth, while you're numbered, and understand that your chip, all right, is going to be what you call hooked up, because you're already considered being hooked up to the cloud. All right. You see? So, we're just going to end it right there. And we're going to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Arakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Well. Peace and blessings and citations to the hopeful elect, the Bayat Dawadah, the house of David. Shalom.